Hello, this is Nars Urqubaslasa coming to you guys from PNN. Today, we'll be discussing the serious topic about the contract between UCSD and Proyce teachers. Did you know it took about 2 years for teachers to come with this contract? This is very crucial because during this time period, there's many various type of issues like teachers' relationships, subs, and student behavioral issues. Let's see what the teachers have to say. I'm here with
Dr. Ensberg.
Hi, Dr. Esber. I have a few questions for you. First question is, what was the biggest challenge you guys dealt with trying to achieve this contract?
There were a lot of challenges. I think probably the biggest one was just being able to stay focused on what we were doing here at school and then also what was going on with our contract negotiations. Not letting the two of them get too mixed up with each other, but just staying focused on what we have to get done.
Okay. How do you think this will impact students and teachers moving forward?
Well, I think it's going to be a great result for all of the teachers and all of the students. We're going to have more teachers who are able to be here full time in the classes, teaching the students every day, and it's going to be a lot less hanging over all of our heads, a lot less stress to deal with. So we'll all be able to be more present, more focused.
Great, thank you. Hi, I'm here with
Mrs. Majors.
Hi, Ms. Majors. I'm going to be asking you a few questions about the contract today. What was the biggest challenge teachers faced while making this contract?
I think overall the biggest challenge that teachers faced was just the length of time it took to get the contract settled, to get the negotiations finally ended. It ended up being an exercise in stamina, which we didn't anticipate that it would take this long. We really couldn't understand why it was taking so long, considering that everything we were asking for was completely reasonable and a lot of what we had been told would happen when we started working at Proyce. So I would say it was a combination of the length of time, just lasting, just having the stamina to not give up and give in to what the UC was initially proposing for us. And continuing to come in and do our jobs at the high level that we do.
Okay. How do you think this will impact students and teachers moving forward?
Well, we teachers are going to continue doing what we have been doing, which is providing an excellent education to the students that we want to work with here at the Proyce School. Hopefully it will affect our school in a very positive way because we will be able to now attract teachers with a competitive salary. It was very difficult to attract quality teachers who would remain here so that our students can have consistency and stability, which is a key component of any student's education.
Thank you for your time, Ms. Majors.
You're welcome.
Hi, I'm here with
Dr. Weber.
Hi, Dr. Weber. I'm going to ask you a few questions about the new contract. First question is, what was the biggest challenge teachers faced while finding this contract?
I think there was two challenges. One was the fact that this contract we were negotiating on Zoom, and that it's tough to keep momentum. It's tough to feel like you're moving forward when you meet sort of once for 2 hours, once a week. There's not the sense of urgency when people are meeting with each other. You can't fill a room so that they can see that people are really impacted by what's going on. I think the other one was a lot of this contract was about salary, not all of it, but I think trying to get the university to see two things. One is that teachers at Proyce, teachers, counselors, librarians, special ed folks, they deserve to be paid the same as our counterparts at Sena Unified. And the other one is to allow them to see that the school can afford it. So it's not just about that it's what we deserve, but in fact the school can easily afford these salaries that have such a huge part in what's going on in the school as happened the last couple of years.
How did teachers work together to make this agreement?
So there was a table team of 8 of us that were essentially working pretty much weekly at nights after school, kind of put together some proposals, but then we would meet with all the other teachers, oftentimes on Zoom, sometimes live, to sort of get their feedback on proposals we were making, priorities that we wanted to set. And then we had sort of, I would say, a second structure of people who were there to help organize small groups of teachers. So we have a bunch of phone tree leaders who each have the phone number of a bunch of people on campus so that they can sort of pass out information, advertise meetings, get the word out about things. And then we had people sort of stepping up to take on a variety of roles when it came to strike days, finding ways for us to meet and even celebrate small victories that we had. So it really was a team effort, despite the fact that it looked like there was just a small team of us that was representing everybody.
How do you think this contract will impact students and teachers moving forward?
My guess is there'll be sort of two impacts. I think one, hopefully, will be long-term. We've had a really tough time being able to hire and then retain teachers. People come and go really quickly, and now that we have competitive salaries and working conditions, hopefully that'll be a lot easier to do. So we won't have the turnover of teachers or long-term replacements in classrooms, which I think impacts you all. Having somebody in there who isn't necessarily credentialed in that subject, I think will just make for a better education for you all. And then maybe lastly, my hope is that it's been kind of dreary and negative at the school for the last couple of years, especially for teachers, and my hope is that we all find some sort of joy and optimism now that we've kind of had this fight. We've sort of come out with exactly what we're looking for. So hopefully you notice that we're a little bit happier, smilier, that we are sort of back to our old selves that we were before all this started.
Great. Thank you for your time, Dr. Weber.
Thank you.
Said TA, and I thought they meant try again because it took us 2 years. After 2 years of negotiation, 67 meetings, 3.8 million emails, we finally have a TA. Everybody clap as if you were tired. Hi, my name is Nars. No, great. Thank you, Dr. Weber. Dr. Work together to make this happen.
Just start again, bro.
The whole thing?
No.
Just the question. Okay. Okay, how do teachers work together to make this happen? Okay. You're gonna have to cut that out. How did